Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So we kicked off the Healthy Habits monthly challenge last week, and for those that don't know about it, it's pretty much every month we're focusing on one healthy habit to integrate it into our daily life, and we're keeping the healthy habits simple but super healthy. And this is a way of making things that we always want to do but we don't do into an actual habit. And if we do something for an entire month, then eventually it does become a healthy habit. And so this month we're focusing on drinking enough water. The goal is to drink, I would say, at least 6 to 8 cups of water a day. If you can drink more, great. If you need more, if you live in a hotter climate or you do laborious work or you do a lot of exercise, you're probably going to need even more water. But the bare minimum should be 6 to 8 cups of water a day. I'd say most people can admit that they don't drink enough water. And so this is a great way, if for an entire month we can focus on drinking enough water every day, that it really does become part of your lifestyle. It becomes a habit, and it becomes something you actually enjoy and see and feel the difference from doing. So I thought today what I'd do is talk a little bit about the benefits of drinking more water, and also give some tips and tricks as to how to make sure you're drinking enough water, how to make it easier on yourself. Because since we launched this monthly challenge, it's been great, like on Facebook and also on YouTube and also on my blog. People have been mentioning what's working for them and what keeps them motivated and what actually helps them to make sure that they're drinking enough water. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit of some of the tips and tricks that people have mentioned and also what I'm doing. And then at the end of the video, I want to talk about how it's been going with me and some of the changes I've noticed from doing this challenge, because I'm doing this challenge as well. I also need to be drinking more water. I can easily admit that. And I was excited about launching this new monthly challenge, that it's something that I too want to participate in. And so I want to share what changes I've noticed over the past week, how it's been going with me, what are some of the challenges I've had, and things like that. And so it's fun if we're doing this all together. And I'd also love to hear how it's going for you. So if you want to post on Facebook, on the Radiant Central Facebook page, or on the Radiant Central blog, or on YouTube, or wherever you're watching this, if you've been joining the challenge and you've noticed either changes or there's certain things you're doing that have made it easier on you, please share it with us, because it's fun if we're all doing this together. It's more encouraging and it's more inspiring and motivating, okay? And it's just great to hear what other people are doing and what works for them, and perhaps what's even not working for them. That too it's always good to hear people's feedback. So let's first get started about the benefits of drinking more water. I would say most people notice big benefits when they start drinking more water, especially once you get it started. I would say once you're kind of into it, doing it perhaps for a few days at a time, then you start noticing more and more the benefits. More energy, you feel healthier, you feel like your digestive system is working much better, perhaps even less of an appetite, less cravings, you feel fuller, you feel more energized, more clear-headed, things like that. Even a lot of times people might even notice less inflammation, because if they're always dehydrated, their body needs more liquids, more moisture. And once they're getting that, then perhaps there's less inflammation, less aches and pains, things like that as well. So a lot of benefits from water. And one thing too that people overlook too is that with water is that there's a lot of trace minerals in water, things that we actually need, like electrolytes and different minerals. And so you are getting that from water. And if you're not drinking enough water, you're actually missing out on that. So this is also a great way of actually building your nutrition and making sure that your body's getting what it needs. So a lot of benefits from it. A lot of times people will feel the benefits, whether it's in their energy or within their digestion or even in their appearance, that they start noticing that there's less puffiness in their face or less water retention, less swelling, all sorts of things. There's so many benefits from the simplest thing of drinking more water. So I definitely can say that since starting this challenge, I've seen a lot of changes and experienced a lot more energy, which has been really great. And I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. But right now what I want to do is talk a little bit about how to make sure that you're getting enough water and how to make it easier on yourself. Because sometimes if you're thinking, okay, I need to drink 6 to 8 cups of water a day, sometimes it's kind of hard to keep track of that. And the one thing that I've noticed with everyone sharing what they've been doing and what's been working for them, there's been sort of a common thing between everyone, is that every time someone's been saying, I'm doing it, it's working, and this is what I've been doing, it's been the same thing I've been hearing over and over again, but in perhaps different forms. And that is that I find a lot of people have been successful with drinking more water by putting it in a container, in a larger container. So rather than like counting how many cups you're drinking a day, a lot of people have been filling up either water bottles or pitchers or big glass jars of water that contain a larger amount. And perhaps they might measure the amount of liquids that that container is holding, so that they know, okay, you know, this big pitcher, it contains 1.5 liters of water. So I know if I drink 2 of those a day, I've gotten my water in for the day. Or someone else might have a big water bottle that contains 1 liter, and so they know if they're drinking 2 to 3 of those a day, they're all good. And so that makes a big difference. And I find that for a lot of people, it's much easier if they're focusing sort of on 1 container or 2 containers, as opposed to like focusing on like 8 glasses, because sometimes you lose count, right? And also too, I find that if you're focusing on drinking that 1 container that you're carrying around with you, that you can actually have a timeline on it. Okay, so like let's say you have a water bottle that contains 1 liter or 1 quart of water, and your goal is to drink 2 to 3 of those a day, then perhaps you have a goal that by noon you're drinking 1 of those, and then by 4 o'clock you've drank another one, and by the end of the day you've drank another one if possible. So that way too, it's if you have a timeline and you kind of have goals throughout the day of finishing the water, that too makes it much, much easier. And another person too had mentioned on YouTube that if they drink their water out of a nice glass, that too inspires them to be drinking more. So it's kind of like you have to, like, it's the same thing of having a beautiful meal on a nice plate or a nice bowl or a nice sort of setting. It makes people want to actually eat or drink something. And so the same thing goes with the water. It's kind of like if you have a favorite glass, or if you have a favorite container that you're carrying the water in, you're more likely to do it, plus enjoy it. So that too, I find that also works for me. When the person had mentioned that, I thought to myself, yeah, that's true. I actually do have a favorite glass and a favorite kind of pitcher that I put my water in, that it's kind of a ritual for me to fill it up and have it with me wherever I go, that it's much easier. It reminds me it's right there. It's not like I have to go out of my way to have that water around or to be able to have it. You know, it's kind of like if it's right there and it looks good and it's easily accessible, it makes a huge difference, and it actually makes it more attainable. So that's really helped as well. I find just in general, it's like the more that it's around, that you can visually see it and you're bringing it with you, the more likely you're able to drink it. So if you're throwing that like water bottle in your purse and you arrive at work or you arrive at school, make sure to take it out of your purse and have it like on your desk in front of you, because then you're likely to be sipping on it. Or if you're walking around, hold it as opposed to putting it in a bag. Because a lot of times when we have it in a bag, it just stays in the bag. So it's about having it around you. And I know for myself, I work at home and I'm at home most of the day, that I always just make sure that I have my pitcher of water on my table right there, or on the kitchen table, somewhere where I can see it, that I can just grab it, fill up my water glass and drink it. Okay, so these are my tips with the water. And now, how's it going with me with the challenge? Well, I'm very excited about doing this challenge, and I'm excited that every month we're going to focus on a different thing, and that we're going to try and do this for an entire month. And I have to say, for the past week of trying to increase the amount of water I've been drinking, it's been going well. I would say there's been one day where I didn't drink enough, and I noticed the difference. And so I'm kind of happy I went through that, because sometimes when we're always trying to be so perfect about it, we forget or lose sight that sometimes by not being perfect about it reminds us why we're doing it in the first place. And I did see the big difference. It was actually yesterday that I didn't get to drink enough water. I was really busy throughout the day, and by the end of the day I was so tired. And the one thing that I noticed over the past week of drinking, I would say, because I'm in Bali and it's really hot, I'm drinking at least 3 liters of water a day, almost 4 sometimes. I'm also still nursing my daughter. I'm still breastfeeding. So I also need to be drinking a lot of water. So the two combined of like hot weather, nursing, and also exercising and moving around, I need to be drinking a lot of water. And normally I don't. Okay, so I can easily admit that. So for the past week, I've been really trying to be diligent about doing it, and I feel so much better doing it. I have to say the one thing I've noticed the most with is my energy. I just have much more energy, and I feel healthier. I feel more like my body's kind of flushing things out. I feel good, but most of all, it's just energy and mental alertness. I feel even more alert, and I don't go through sort of that 4 o'clock kind of mental fog that normally I do go through. You know, it's kind of like the end of the day that I just start dragging. I notice that I don't feel that anymore. And it's because of the water. It's probably because by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock I'm dehydrated. And so by having the water has helped. Before I was having green juice, and I'm still having my green juice, but either not having it or having it at a different time of the day. But I noticed that just by having more water throughout the day, I don't feel like I need that 3 or 4 o'clock lift that I was having. So that's definitely been a benefit. And I would say, yeah, it was good to go through that one day where I wasn't having enough water to see the difference. And I have to say too that drinking more water, it's almost become more addictive. Like I really enjoy it. Whereas in the beginning, the first day, it felt like a little bit of a drag. It just felt like, oh, I got to drink the water. But as the days went by, it's kind of like I craved it more and more, and I really enjoy it. And so what's been working for me, as I mentioned before, is filling up a big pitcher of the water. The pitcher itself contains, I'd say, about 1.5 liters of water. And I just always have it in front of me or like in arm's reach. So it's always around. I do have a favorite glass that I like to drink out of, that I pour the water in, and that's it. And that's what I've been doing. So it's been going well. I'm really enjoying it, and it's something I want to continue doing. And I do foresee that by the end of the month, it'll definitely become a habit. If not already, I do find it's already become a habit. When I haven't had, let's say, water within an hour or two, I do feel like, oh, I need to have more water. I need to have my water. And so I enjoy doing it. This is really good. So I'd love to hear how everyone else is doing, because we're all doing this together, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm excited about these monthly challenges we'll be doing. So please, if you want to let us know, either let us know on my blog or on the Radiant Central Facebook page or on YouTube, wherever you want. Just let us know how you're doing and how's it going, and what's working for you, because I think the more people share, the more ideas we can get, and the more creative we can get as well, and that helps. It really, really does. So I'm wishing everyone a super fabulous day. Continue drinking your water, and also for anyone that wants to join the next 7-day raw food challenge, it's a 7-day raw food cleanse, and it starts next week, next Monday, April 13th. It's 7 days, it's 1 week of doing a raw food diet. This is a perfect time of year to be doing a springtime cleanse, and you get to eat raw foods for an entire week. I find this is a great program to reset your taste buds and to get back to eating light, healthy, fresh food. Get into that, and this is a great way too of kind of just cleaning out your system and cleaning out those taste buds and getting just used to eating healthy foods again. So if anyone wants to join it, it's 7 days of being on a raw food diet. Once you sign up, there's an ebook that contains all the recipes and menu planner and the guidelines for the week, and once the challenge starts, everyone gets access to daily videos, an online forum to connect with everyone else doing the challenge with you, and it's a lot of fun. And by the end of the week, you feel great, really great. A lot of people either notice that they lose weight, or they reduce water retention, or inflammation, aches and pains, clearer skin, clearer eyes, clearer mind, everything. It's a great cleanse, and the greatest thing is you can actually eat. So, and also you learn how to make really healthy raw food recipes, and that itself is also a big benefit, because afterwards you can go on to eating healthy food, and yeah, you've cleaned out your system and you've pressed that reset button to get started. So great program. Do join us, and if you want more information or to sign up, you can go to my website at radiantcentral.com, click on products, and you'll see 7-day raw food challenge there. All right, have a super fabulous day, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.